We were treated to a beautiful sunrise while flying over the Newfoundland and Labrador regions of Canada. We had a red-eye flight to Iceland, landing early in the morning. We decided to try out the famous Blue Lagoon with a day pass since we could not check into our hotel until later in the afternoon. The Blue Lagoon is a large pool about 4 feet deep, heated naturally, with geothermal springs. We had face masks to try out to moisturize our skin. After a couple hours in the lagoon, we had a nice lunch. I was happy to see that Icelanders know how to give the proper amount of butter with the bread. The Northern Lights Inn is about a mile from the Blue Lagoon and was built on a lava field right next to the geothermal power plant. The plant generates electricity and pumps hot water into town for heating the homes. There was a cool photograph in the hotel showing an aerial view of the Northern Lights Inn when the last major volcanic eruption occurred a few years ago. We started our Iceland adventure with a day trip out of Reykjavik called the Golden Circle. In a single day, we were able to visit a national park, a beautiful waterfall, and a geyser. Thingvellir National Park is known for its historical significance as the site of Iceland's ancient parliament, its geological importance as a visible rift valley between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, and its natural beauty. The Althing is the supreme national parliament of Iceland. It is the oldest surviving parliament in the world. The Althing was founded in 930 at Thingvellir, about 45 kilometers east of what later became the country's capital, Reykjavik. It is amazing that over 1,000 years ago, people from all over Iceland would travel by foot for up to a month every summer. They would meet at this location for a combination of parliament session and party that would last 2 weeks before walking back home. Somehow they have been able to maintain a coherent, nationwide legal structure that persists until this day. We decided to explore most of Iceland with a long drive around the island in a clockwise direction. Some people do this drive counterclockwise, but we decided on this route because it saved the best scenery for the last part of the trip. We were also able to squeeze in a day trip by ferry to the Westman Islands. Basalt columns form when a thick layer of basalt lava cools and contracts, causing it to fracture into polygonal columns, most commonly hexagonal. We found these at several places in Iceland, but this was the most dramatic location. A lot of people who visit Iceland elect for a night or two in Reykjavik, then get on a cruise ship to circle the island. Shirley and I decided to drive the island so we could see a lot more of the spectacular scenery that you miss on a cruise. We were driving on the ring road and saw a pullout with a couple cars parked. This was not an attraction in our guidebook, but we decided to stop to investigate. A short walk down the hill rewarded us with a spectacular waterfall. In most places in the world, this would be a major attraction. In Iceland, it is just an unnamed pullout on the side of the highway. For a first night on the ring road, we found a nice, comfortable hotel. Driving up to the north coast of Iceland. Very wide open, beautiful vistas right here. Looking as far as you can see, a bunch of little mountains over there with some snow on it. People have been living here for 900 years at this site. This wooden building here was built about 150 years ago and was transported to this location. But it's an example of timber framed buildings here at this site. And later on we're going to see the thatch grass type houses that they built here. But for right now we got this one right here. So here's the bottom of the crater. There's a pathway going up diagonally up the side of the crater, which I will be going pretty soon. It's kind of windy right now. And when it gets windy, there's one person who's not a real avid hiker up volcanoes. And that would be this person right here.
Let's put some wind.
Made it to the top of the crater right here, looking down at the caldera depression. Very nice view here. Nice view. Top of the ridge right here. I'm not going to walk along the perimeter. That'd be too long of a walk. I'll show you where the parking lot is. Where Shalito is right now, I hope. Hope she hasn't gone away with somebody else. There is the parking lot down there. We're at the Herring Museum in northern Iceland. A little town that I can't really pronounce, but there is the sign for it. There are little structures right there. It's a beautiful day in Iceland. Lovely bride. And we're right here at the harbor. Nice little area, a little hotel right here too. Walking the lava path here through the lava formations. Very well maintained trails, good signage, very smooth trails, easy to walk. So, and really beautiful scenery here. Just walking along the trail back to the parking lot right now. Overcast, was a little bit of sprinkles earlier today, but right now it's pretty good. Looking at the geothermally active area here with the mud pool bubbling as we look at it. Basically this mud is boiling hot. You can see how hot it is boiling there. Would not want to fall into that. We had Dedafloss waterfall. Very impressive waterfall right here. Second biggest river in Iceland, coming over the cliff. Kind of windy and desolate up here. Our lodge right now is right next to this beautiful Icelandic river, or lake, Atlantic Lake over here. Lakeview Lodge. We got just outside our hotel, has this nice view. And our hotel is actually behind all these trees in there. Driving down the coast on the way to the Glacier Lagoon Hotel, August 26th. Just another random waterfall just happened to drive by. There's so many beautiful waterfalls, they don't have names for them, you know. close, yeah. Wow, I like that blue color. It's really nice. The adjacent black sand beach got its name from the pieces of ice that would flow out of the lagoon onto the beach. Couple glaciers here, really close by, looking really nice. waterfall to the side of the road. The wind is really taking the water off the waterfall from sometimes, so it makes it so not much water comes down. Then the wind dies down, and there's more water coming straight down. The wind is really just blowing that water all over the place. On our Iceland trip, we generally tried to stay in nice hotels when we could find them. The previous night inside the famous church in Iceland. In front of the church is over there, and the organ is behind us. It appears a very impressive organ. Downtown Reykjavik, right near the city hall. Kind of an interesting building over there. Inside the Reykjavik Opera House here. Beautiful outside, multi-textured walls and mirrors here. A little bar straight ahead. And basically a very interesting type of architecture here. Right in the middle of Reykjavik, right at the beginning of the Rainbow Street, which leads up to the church. A lot of activity here right now. Very popular tourist time in the summer. Looks pretty nice.